Hi guys, it's Justin again. I'm going to be predicting the State Virginia basketball game for tonight. It's at 7 on ESPN2. It's at Virginia. So we, as us State fans, know that it's hard to win a road game in the ACC. We've had a hard time these last two. Maryland, Wake Forest beat us both times. Coming off big wins too. I mean, the Wake Forest win wasn't, or the Wake Forest game wasn't really off a big win, but I don't know. They underestimated them. Anyway, getting to Virginia, I have some notes here. So, Virginia, they are 14-5, 4-2 in the ACC. Tied with Duke actually for third. Not to say they're as good as Duke because they got some bad losses on their resume. Um, they've lost to Old Dominion, Wake Forest, Clemson, and Delaware. All of those aren't no good teams in the bunch. I mean, they have a couple good wins, UNC and Wisconsin. And yeah, their last five, they lost to Wake Forest and Clemson back to back. Those are both away games, so it makes it a little better. But they won 3 in a row in the ACC. So Florida State at Virginia Tech and home for BC. So they're on the upswing. They haven't really played anybody too good in the ACC yet. No Dukes, Maryland's State, which we're playing tonight, and Miami. Haven't played any of them yet. Really, the only decent team they played is Carolina in the ACC, who they beat. So, they try to slow it down. I don't remember what the stat is, but they're one of the slowest tempo teams in the country. They only average 62.8 points per game, which is it's 272nd in the country. So 32.8 rebounds per game. That's really low. They're a decent assist team, 14.9 a game. That's 62nd. Only a little bit better than State, or actually a little worse. Sorry. Field goal percentage 45.9%. That's decent. They're 55th. State trumps them in all these categories. But yeah, starters are going to be Evan Nolt, forward, Akeel Mitchell, forward, Jontel Evans, guard, Paul Jesperson, guard, and Joe Harris, guard. And they have a couple guys off the bench, notable guys. Justin Anderson, he's a guard. And Mike Toby, he's a forward / center, and then Doug Browman is a guard. Let's see. Start with Joe Harris. He's the leading scorer, 14.8 points per game. Really good 3-point shooter. So I'm thinking they're running a 3-guard lineup. I'm thinking Wood will probably guard him. Maybe Purvis. It'll come down to what Godfrey thinks. Evans is the point guard. He leads them in assists, 4.2 points or 4.2 assists per game. He's not a high scorer. He actually has only played 10 games this year so far, but he starts at point guard. So yeah, Zoe will have him, of course. And Mitchell, he's their second leading scorer. 12.3 a game, leading rebounder at 8.8 per game. I will assume that Howell will be on him because he's their traditional post guy. So it's be interesting because they look like they've got some decent players. I mean, I haven't watched a Virginia game except for I guess I watched them against Carolina, but I haven't really paid much attention to them. But they're 4-0 against State at their new arena that they moved into recently, John Paul Jones Arena. They're the only State's the only team that hasn't won there yet. So hopefully we can break that streak tonight. Problem, CJ Leslie might not play. He's sick. He made the trip, but he might not play. So if that happens, I'm not saying that it strictly inhibits our ability to win because Virginia is favored. They're favored by 4. Apparently, that's the last thing I heard was they were favored by 4. Um, but CJ Leslie not playing. I guess it'll push. I would assume TJ Warren into the starting lineup, but that's going to make us really thin. I'm only going to have Vandenberg and Lewis off the bench. So we might not be able to get out and run like we want to, just to conserve energy. And also, if we start getting foul trouble, it's not going to look too good. This is again the only game that these two teams are playing this year. So State's coming off that win against Carolina on Saturday. I have faith in Godfrey that he's got their heads on straight after these last couple road losses we've had. So I'm going to take State. It's a little bit of a homer pick, but I think we're legitimately a better team than them with or without CJ Leslie. So I'm going to go with it's going to be low scoring. I think they're going to enforce their pace, especially if CJ doesn't play. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to say 65-62 State as a final. It's going to be a tough game. We'll see what happens. I'll probably do a State-Miami video coming up this week, depending on what happens with this game. And then I might be doing Indiana-Michigan because that's a 1 versus 3 matchup. That's this weekend. So come back for that and go Pack.